Have you ever been haunted by a fear of something that hasn't even happened? Do your thoughts ever feel so real that they make your heart race? Even in complete silence, what if the very thing causing your anxiety isn't the world outside, but a lie whispered by your own mind? Let's take a closer look. Have you noticed how your mind spins entire stories crafted out of thin air, yet they grip you with a fear as intense as if they were unfolding in front of you? You're lying in bed, body still, room quiet, and yet inside, it feels like a storm is raging. Your thoughts start racing, reeling through every worst-case scenario like a broken record, convincing you that disaster is just around the corner. It's as if your mind believes that worrying enough could somehow protect you from what's to come. But here's a truth we rarely stop to consider. Worry is not your protector. It's your prison. Worry doesn't shield you. It binds you. It wraps you in invisible chains made of what-ifs and worst-case fantasies. It holds you in place, preventing joy, presence, and progress. And that's the deception. The more you worry, the more you feel in control. But in reality, you're losing control to a fear that may never come to pass. Buddhism teaches a radically different approach. It doesn't ask you to battle worry head-on or silence it with force. Instead, it encourages you to see through it, to observe it, to understand that most of the things we fear never actually happen. And when they do, they are rarely as terrible as we imagined. In this video, we're going to dive into 7 profound Buddhist principles that will help you gently loosen worry's grip on your mind and reconnect you to a calmer, more peaceful version of yourself. Because peace doesn't come from eliminating all problems. It comes from training the mind to stay steady, especially in the face of uncertainty. Let's begin with the first lesson. 1. Name the beast to tame it. If you want to disarm worry, the first step is simple but powerful. Call it out. Buddhism teaches us that worry thrives in the shadows. It feeds off vagueness, off unspoken fears and undefined anxieties. That's why the unknown often feels so terrifying. It's not the event itself, but the uncertainty surrounding it. When we avoid naming our fears, they grow, they morph, they take on exaggerated shapes and become monstrous in our minds. But the moment you name them, this is fear of rejection. This is anxiety about money. This is doubt about my future. They start to lose their edge. You take away their mystery. You reclaim your power. Think of worry like a wild beast in a dark room. If you never shine a light on it, it prowls freely, unchecked. But when you flick on the light and face it directly, you realize it's just a shadow. It can't hurt you. By naming the beast, you're no longer reacting blindly. You're creating awareness, and with awareness comes the power to choose how you respond. Try this the next time worry creeps in. Pause, breathe, ask yourself, what am I really afraid of right now? Is this something real, or is my mind playing out a story? Once you've identified it, label it, speak it, write it down if you must. When you bring your worry into the light of awareness, you strip it of its hold over you. It becomes manageable, just a thought, not an unstoppable force. And the best part, thoughts can be changed. 2. Don't believe everything you think. This may be one of the hardest truths to accept, because it challenges something we all take for granted, our own minds. Not every thought you think is true. In fact, many thoughts are nothing more than echoes of past fears, cultural programming, or emotional residue. Buddhism reminds us that the mind is like a stream, constantly flowing, filled with impressions, stories, predictions, and assumptions. But here's the problem. We often believe every thought that floats by, especially the fearful ones. We treat them as truth. We act on them. We stress over them. Your mind might whisper, "You're not good enough. You're going to fail. Everyone's watching, waiting for you to mess up." But stop for a moment. Are these thoughts based on reality, or are they just noise, background static from an overactive imagination? The danger is in how convincing they feel. Fear-based thoughts often scream louder than logical ones. That's why they're so persuasive. But the key is learning to observe your thoughts, not obey them. Don't attach to them. Let them pass through like clouds drifting across a wide sky. You are not your thoughts. You are the one watching them, and that awareness gives you power. So when your mind says, "What if I fail?" respond with, "Maybe, but even if I do, I'll learn." When your mind warns, "What if everyone judges me?" ask yourself, have they really said anything? Or is this just a fear? Each time you question the thought, you weaken its grip. You stop living like the worst-case scenario is guaranteed, and you start reclaiming your mental freedom. Free, do what you can, then let go. This one's hard for the perfectionists, the overthinkers, and the caretakers, but it's essential. So much of our worry stems from wanting to control everything, the outcomes, the timing, the reactions of others, the future. But the truth is, there's only so much you can influence. Buddhism teaches us to act mindfully, but once we've done our part, to release our attachment to the result. That doesn't mean we give up. It means we stop trying to carry burdens that were never ours to begin with. When you've taken action, whether it's preparing for an exam, resolving a conflict, or doing your best at work, that's your responsibility. The outcome, that's not always up to you. Instead of stewing in what ifs, ask yourself, have I done what I can? If yes, can I now let go with peace? Letting go doesn't mean you don't care. It means you trust. You trust that your effort mattered, and that whatever happens next, you'll handle it. This simple mindset shift, doing, then releasing, frees you from endless rumination. It gives your mind permission to rest, and your heart space to breathe. And that brings us to the next lesson, a beautiful tool to help you contain your worry instead of letting it spill into every hour of your day. How can creating a worry ritual actually reduce anxiety? Why does scheduling time to worry make you feel more in control, not less? We'll explore that next. And now that we've begun to understand how movement can quiet the storm in our minds, let's take it a step further. Let's learn how to nourish that peace so it can grow stronger every day. Movement isn't just a physical escape, it's a mental cleansing. It's the body's way of flushing out stagnant energy, releasing emotional buildup, and giving your thoughts the room to breathe. Think of it as a reset button for your nervous system. It doesn't require intense workouts or perfect yoga poses. Sometimes, all it takes is a walk around the block, a deep breath under the sky, or a gentle sway to your favorite song. This shift, no matter how small, changes everything. You redirect your focus, you shift your emotional energy, and most importantly, you shift your mindset. The negative loop that worry often traps us in begins to break. It's not just the body that moves, your mental landscape shifts too. When your feet start to move, your perspective follows. That motion creates a ripple effect, calming your thoughts and grounding your attention in the present. Whether you're walking through a quiet park, stretching by your window, or simply rolling your shoulders and breathing deeply, you're recalibrating your entire system. You begin to notice things again: the rhythm of your breath, the coolness of the air, the softness of your muscles as they relax. Suddenly, the noise inside starts to fade, and in its place is a deep, still quiet, a moment of peace. This is mindfulness in action, being present, without judgment, and simply observing. You're not lost in thoughts about tomorrow. You're here, right now, fully alive. You don't have to practice Tai Chi or become a seasoned yogi to benefit from mindful movement. The essence lies not in complexity, but in intention. Even just standing up, stretching your arms toward the ceiling, or taking slow steps around your home can offer release. Practice this. When you feel anxiety rising like a wave, don't fight it. Step back and move. Take a short walk. Feel your feet touch the earth. Breathe in slowly, fully, or stretch your body with care, noticing how each breath eases the tension. As you move, allow your worries to melt with each exhale. Let motion become your medicine. With consistent practice, you'll discover how movement clears mental static, restores emotional balance, and brings you back to a place of centered calm. 6. Feed your mind. Peace, not panic. Think of your mind as a garden. Whatever you plant there, fear or faith, negativity or joy, will grow. The more you water anxious thoughts, the more they take root and expand. But the same is true for peace. When you feed your mind peaceful, nurturing thoughts, serenity begins to flourish from within. In Buddhism, we're reminded again and again, your internal world mirrors what you consume. This includes everything: what you watch, what you listen to, who you speak with, and even the stories you tell yourself silently in your head. Worry thrives in environments filled with panic. It often begins with one small "what if," and if left unchecked, that seed becomes a tangled forest of dread. Each time you focus on that fear, you're reinforcing it. You're giving it light, soil, and water. But here's the power. You can choose what to feed your mind. Imagine no longer binging on stress-inducing news or fear-fueled conversations. Instead, picture offering your mind the equivalent of warm soup, content that calms, affirms, and uplifts. You wouldn't feed your body spoiled food, so why feed your mind harmful thoughts? Mindfulness means becoming intentional about what you allow in. Ask yourself, are my daily thoughts nurturing my peace, or feeding my panic? Do my habits support a calm mind or fuel unnecessary fear? Choose to plant seeds of kindness, courage, stillness, and perspective. Read something inspiring, listen to soft music, speak gently to yourself, especially in moments of fear. Replace harsh inner dialogue with affirmations like, I choose peace today, I trust my strength, I am safe in this moment. These aren't just words, they're nutrients for your mental soil. And don't stop at external content. Pay attention to your internal playlist. 2. How often do you replay your worries like a looped recording? Shift that energy. Even subtle changes in self-talk can rewire how you respond to stress. Feeding your mind peace doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means meeting reality with resilience. It means noticing that panic is optional and peace is possible. Practice this. Take stock of your daily mental diet. Notice what drains you. Then, start to gently replace it. Listen to podcasts that ground you. Read books that guide you. Surround yourself with voices, internal and external, that reflect calm. And each day, repeat one positive affirmation that centers you. Let that become your new habit. 7. Remember your strength. There's a truth we often overlook when we're overwhelmed. You've already survived every hard day you thought you couldn't handle. Take a moment to let that sink in. Every time you felt broken, every night you couldn't sleep, every setback, heartbreak, or fear you thought would swallow you, you made it through. Not only did you survive, but you learned, you grew, you're still here. Yet when a new fear arises, we forget all that, we panic, as if this next moment will finally be the one that breaks us. But it won't, because inside you is proof of resilience. Your past is full of victories, some quiet, some loud, but all real. And Buddhism teaches this, the principle of impermanence. Nothing, not even fear, lasts forever. Every painful season eventually gives way to peace. Every storm eventually passes. When you begin to feel worry take over, pause, look back, trace the road you've walked. See the shadows you've already faced. Each one was a test, and each one you overcame. Why would the next be any different? You faced fear before, and you'll face it again, but next time, you'll carry the knowledge that you've made it before. You are not the same person you were back then. You're wiser, stronger, more prepared. Practice this. Write a list of your past challenges. Label them clearly. I overcame this. Reflect on how you felt, what you learned, and how it made you stronger. Visualize your past self walking through that fire, and visualize your present self still standing. Let that memory fuel your confidence. Let it silence the fear whispering, "What if I can't?" Because now you know you can. Worry will always try to speak, but now you don't have to listen. You've learned how to name it, question it, release it, move through it, and quiet it with intention. Through Buddhist wisdom, we discover not just how to cope with worry, but how to transform it into clarity and strength. So the next time anxiety tries to take over, remember this: you are not your faults. You are not your fear. You are the awareness behind them, and that awareness is powerful. You've survived every hard day so far. You can do it again and again. The path to peace is not outside you. It's already within you, waiting for you to choose it. If this message brought you comfort, insight, or even a moment of calm, please like, share, and subscribe. We create videos like this to help you live with more peace, more presence, and more clarity, one breath at a time. Until next time, stay mindful, stay kind, and remember, peace isn't something you find, it's something you practice.